What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. I know all eyes are on Master Duel right now. I even have a bit of it in Market Watch here with how the system works that I notice is a freemium warrior slash grinder and some of the limitations there with gems. But first, Grand Creator pre-sales are up on TCG, Tier 0, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily. And I've got to give it to TCG. It's actually not that bad for one of the most anticipated engines out of a collector rare set that finally seems to be good for a deck building set. We have Water Enchantress here at 45 and the Rite of Armazia right around 40. Over here on Daily, they actually have those similar, but code What's Good 5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly will work. And their collector rare prices, Solemn Strike at just 120 when a lot of people thought this would be 200 even out the gate. I guessed 125 and this is even under what I thought, and a ton of people looking out for Torrential Tribute. That was very much appreciated by the community that one was picked, and I don't see any other collector rares that weren't announced yet over on Daily or Tier 0. Tier 0 is losing on the collector rares a bit, but winning on the lower end outside of those deck cores from what I'm seeing, because they have Water Enchantress at 40, and then you have Rite of Armazia at I'm gonna murder names, it's okay, at 36.72, and code What's Good 5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly will work over here as well. And it seems they're pretty realistic about the lower end of this set too, although my honest advice is, and I always put the audience first, I'd probably wait on Exorcisters and Punk if you're thinking about buying them. I think that even though you have the shiny deck core in front of you for these, the main thing to look at early that might drive up with this set would be the Brave token engine, as people will be clamoring for that, and not a ton of this will be opened. In fact, a lot of people getting their entire shipment in all at once with Grand Creator. So I would be looking at the top end collector rares, which like Pankratops, I could see Strike going, except people are grabbing 3 of these, Torrential for past formats, and then the Brave token engine. Outside of that, Insectors maybe, but probably not. In fact, you even see they have collector rare Hornet down here at just $40. Very competitive versus the 75 plus with actual sales at 100 on TCG Player. So again, shop between both Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily and Tier 0. Depending on where you're at, Tier 0 has completely free international shipping over 50 pounds. You can change the currency up here: Australian, Canadian, Euro, Pound, and even Japanese Yen. So free shipping worldwide via DHL. Very nice, especially with those cheap prices on the lower end. Now, I did promise Master Duel content, and the gems, the free gems you can own at one time are max. Not, you know, overtime, but what you currently have in your wallet. And I'm a freemium warrior. I grinded. I already beat Master Duel. I've gone through the entire Duel Pass, and now I'm going through story mode, and with my free logins, I actually would have hit the max. As I understand it right now, people expect it to be like Duel Links, where you have to spend the excess gems in 30 days. But another thing to note is when you are buying gems on the deal, some of the gems you are getting, in fact, most on the deals, are free gems, which would go into that area. Now, if you're buying gems, you're probably trying to spend this, and they might not apply to all of you. I think this cap is actually just okay. It incentivizes people to actually go and get packs, and the crafting system is incredible, so you don't really lament losing those gems. I'm just hoarding for when the Bode update finally happens, because Sword Soul, or my update to go ahead and get, you know, the DPE engine to go along with, well, if DPE is not panned out the gate with my Phantom Knight BA deck, I think that's what I'm looking forward to. So be aware there is a cap on free gems, and if you go over, it seems that you have to spend them in a relatively fast amount of time. With the game being this new, not a big concern for a lot of you guys, but freemium grinders, a little bit of a, you gotta play around it. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon Starlight Rare is at one of its bottom out prices right now, and a lot of people are talking about this in future formats with Albaz, and we're gonna hit that upcoming market that usually heats up as we head on the road to the WCQ, which we do have a regional season, and we do have a Worlds confirmed, even if it might be remote duel. And Red Eyes Dark Dragoon himself kind of splashing down. Now, there are ban list fears, of course, but I don't think you really have to with the Starlight Rare that just released. But maybe they do restrict how you're going to play it and get rid of Red Eyes Fusion and cut off options, and then you've got to summon it the way that VDub does or Albaz is going to, and limits the power that way. But you can see this now back under 90 with some sellers, and commonly under 92, even with some top-rated sellers around that price. I think you could see the spike up depending on the list when it does drop, and it'll probably drop after all this YCS hype, and who knows with Master Duel if it will be, you know, one list still, because worldwide play and getting people matchups quick, that seems what they're about right now. They may not be tweaking that list, or maybe they will only for tournaments. Max C is speculated highly upon thanks to Master Duel. So many people having conversations about this once again. It's blowing up Yu-Gi-Oh! Twitter, and with that, I have noticed that the Ultimate Rare is still at a standstill because that's $650, but if you actually look at the secret rares, they're going somewhere interesting with the Unlims. They're 70 plus, and the first editions are also flexing upwards. All the $120 copies are now gone, and first edition secret is 145, 150. This started to kick up thanks to Time Wizard format, so it might be a hedged bet of, yeah, this isn't a lot of Time Wizard formats, and if it does happen to, it's a good rarity to have that you're not spending $650 on for the first edition. Also, for Time Wizard format, I pointed out the Breeze seemed to be pretty cheap and going down over time. Well, that is now upwards of $80 and bought out to a good degree. Time Wizard format messing with a lot of things. Trishula Ultimate Rares. Look at this graph, just bump, 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 bump. He is going up. A lot of history with this card as people get into lore thanks to Master Duel 2, but of course, Time Wizard format, and an amazing looking Ultimate Rare. One of the only modern ultis that really has one of those old ulti feels with how they tried something different and rippled the foiling. DT is still king, though, of course, even over the Starlight Rare, which is, where is that actually with Trishula? I don't see it on this page. I want to check that out. Live editing done cheap by me. Let's make sure we get a peek at the Starlight Rare. There he is, barely, you know, in terms of what this is, barely ahead of the ulti. Will the ulti actually get ahead of this? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. In 2 to 3 years, what will be worth more, the ulti or the Starlight? I know Stratos has this argument with him also, but what of in the extra deck? Tour Guide Ultimate Rares. I don't know exactly when this happened, but oh my gosh, apparently around 3-ish months ago, but spiking again throughout this month in healthy chunks as actual sales rates happened on it. Well, $450. I was looking at this to maybe make my Master Duel deck IRL because I was considering PK for the upcoming formats with the Brave engine, but man, Tour Guide is a lot of money, and you don't need Tour Guide with the Brave engine necessarily, by the way. I'm thinking about different ways that I might approach the deck, but wow. Also, hedging bets for Time Wizard format, something I want to do too, maybe. And the Secret Rare's actually gone down for the first edition, interestingly, though. When we look at the graph and how it's, you know, up there, well, the first edition has been coming on down, available at 105 by Big City Cards, a really reputable seller. I bought from them on my Ultimate Rare buy video. 107, there's copies that are actually going down for the Secret, as a lot of attention's on the Ultimate Rare. Malakota, you owe me a soda. Famous phrase from the streams. This guy is now 11 bucks. When did this happen? I remember this being $7. I guess, well, there's a spike in the graph, but that's up towards 13. And where's he really at? $14. Why? Why? So I was more so thinking about this. Remember how Dante floated back into a metagame and spiked real hard, and then people speculated on the stack and he spiked real hard? Not a lot has changed for Dante, and for past formats, I think Duelist Alliance could be one of the most modern formats along with Toss that people play. People will argue which Toss format to play, but not necessarily with the UEA format. So I feel like this might be a good deck to go ahead and fully hollow out. And it's actually cooling down just a tad right now versus how it heated up before. So I don't do suggestions too often. I do feel like BA is in a pretty good place if you've been waiting to go ahead and buy the higher end of that deck. And Pot of Duality Ultimate Rare spiked a while ago, but the actual price versus the graph is far, far above. The lowest are at 325 versus the graph saying market price 231. Not too many modern sales rates, mostly mild play, light play, which might influence the graph a little, I guess. But yeah, this is really, really up there, and I remember Flunder doing it, but not to this extent. Let me know what you think about Time Wizard format, along with the banlist, along with Master Duel, how they're kind of hitting the market together all at once for the hit of nostalgia cards. Also, what do you think of Grand Creators and the Grand Creator pre-sales here? I think Tier 0's done an excellent job pricing, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily just really doing great with the collector rares. I think they could be charging a little bit more, but here they are, just marking them to sell like they usually do. And code LetsGood5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly, of course, works at both. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. And I'll see you. Even though I beat Master Duel, I'm Platinum 1. I've done so much grinding. I'll be playing Master Duel today. Maybe some viewer battles and that sort of stuff. See you tonight at 7 o'clock Central.